Now we're going to get to the sewing, and I have a long seam here with 2 notches that I have at my imaginary waist. I didn't pin that because it's pretty straightforward to go from here to here, so we're going to do that. 3/8 inch seam allowances because it's easier to work with these curvy, tightly curved pieces. Yeah. Alright. Here we go. So I'm going to survive from here to this notch here, straight, so not a big deal. And I'm going to have my needle in the down position so I can kind of regroup here. And I'm going to be going in a straight line from here to the first notch that begins the curve. So no big deal. Continue straight over here. Now this is where I need to start working in a curvy manner. I'm going to take this and I'm literally going to, instead of trying to keep everything flat, which is going to be quite a fight since our cut line is smaller on the back side. And I know you're thinking, oh, let's clip, 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 clip. You don't want to do that. You want to keep that cut line intact for now. Maybe clip it later after you decide how you want to press those seams. But for now, you want to keep this cupped, brief cut line so that you can nestle and ease the seam of the cut line of the convex side into it. So I'm going to be very curvy right here. My little one wants to chime in. She's clapping when she sees I'm getting to a certain step. Now, don't worry about all this junk back here. You're just going to survive from here to this notch. So I'm curving and cupping, and if I need to do 1 stitch at a time, I can. I don't need this pin anymore, it's done its job, so I'm taking it out and putting it in my little pin cushion here, and curving again, very curvy, and see how my fingers are very tactile and spidery here, and I can feel with my thumb up underneath if I have a little micro fold that's getting in the way. So cupping this in, stitch, 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 curve and cup, and I'm just surviving to the next notch here, and I can see that my cut lines are matching up as I go, and I might need to hand do a few stitches here, and if need be, I feel like I'm getting a little foldy under there. I'm going to raise up my presser foot and kind of recurve here. It's always fine to have your needle in the down position, lift your presser foot, and reorganize. Alright, don't need this pin anymore. And now surviving this next curve, lining it up, very tubular and curvy, so. Down position, remove the straight pin. Alright, this part's going to be a breeze. It's pretty much a straight part from here to here. So I'm going to go for the gusto. That was my pin for the center notch. And getting to the first straight pin that starts our curves. That guy we don't need anymore. Come here. Now, again, I want to remind the reason for the pins going this way is it's more natural to the stitching, and if these pins were sticking out this way, you can see how they would really be in my way when I'm coaching all of this in. Alright, same thing, surviving to the next notch. For those of you who have a home machine with a knee lift that controls your presser foot, you can see why it would be very helpful in these situations, because it allows you to keep both of your hands operative instead of stopping and being one-handed having to raise the foot. If you don't have a machine that has a knee lift presser foot control, then maybe that's something that should go on your Christmas list for yourself. Okay, this is that last little notch there. And now I didn't put a pin here at the imaginary waist seams because it's just a straight shot, lining up my two little notches, pinching them, pulling somewhat taut, lining up my seam allowances, giving to that notch, and these are two opposing seam shapes, so I'm stopping here and scooping that out of the way, lining up my edges, finishing this in. Whew! There we go. So now, now all of this is perfectly set, and it really wasn't a big deal. It took me a little while because I'm explaining as I go, but since the stitch lines were technically matched up, it was pretty easy.